My guest is a Staten Island man who overcame a tragic past to inspire his community through music. He'll join me when Mornings on One returns. Ahmed's using the power of music to inspire hope for himself and others. He was severely injured as a child in Iraq. That has not stopped him from taking his love of music to the next level. Here's Amanda Farinacci with the story.
Now I play Stairway to Heaven.
It's not a perfect rendition of Led Zeppelin.
You know, like that riff?
But it's the kind of music Ahmed Shareef loves making. The 21-year-old Iraqi refugee is a talented musician, despite losing his sight and his right arm in an explosion when he was 7.
I didn't know piano player need 2 hands. You know, I didn't focus on that. Oh, piano player. I had this one hand and I was playing around the piano.
Ahmed's injuries occurred as he and a friend were walking home from school near Baghdad and a bomb went off. The U.S. military referred him to a Staten Island charity, the Global Medical Relief Fund, which arranged for surgeries, giving Ahmed prosthetic eyes and an arm. We first met him 14 years ago on his second trip to the U.S. Even then, music was his thing.
When I started playing around the piano, it became my interest, my toy. I want to play around it. And I'm glad that I chose that.
He learned to play mostly through listening. With his future in Iraq bleak, Ahmed's mother let the Global Medical Relief Fund's founder take guardianship. He moved to Staten Island, obtained asylum, and enrolled at Curtis High School. Joining the jazz band, his teacher excited for the chance to work with him.
You know, usually a piano player, we use the left hand for the bass notes, and the right hand is for the high notes. So I found a way to do both sounds.
2 years ago, Ahmed formed a band, Blind Ambition, performing twice a week at a local bar and at special events, including a Knicks game at Madison Square Garden and at Radio City Music Hall to standing ovations.
When he gets up and plays, everybody is like videoing him. He doesn't see it, but everybody is there with their phone. They're telling this person, you have to see this kid. He's amazing.
Ahmed is just at the beginning of his musical career. Besides playing the piano, he can also play the organ, the melodica, and he's currently learning to play guitar.
For me, is a way of telling the world, here I am, no matter what it is, I'm happy, or I've been through a lot, and I don't think about anything in the past. That's my music, and that's what I do.
Ahmed works at a language school in Midtown, helping immigrants like himself learn English. He's weighing a music scholarship offer from Manhattanville College. Whatever he decides, he says music will be a big part of his life.
Amanda's with me now. It was 14 years ago you first met him, because you shot that video.
Yes, a long time ago.
I mean, we sometimes do a story and then we never come back to it again. It's interesting to come back to it.
It's awesome, really is awesome to do a story like that. We meet him when he's just a boy, and you can clearly see like the innocence that he's still, you know, such a boy despite the fact that he's suffered such debilitating really injuries.
Here's the 2006 video.
Yeah, and then I mean at that time I recall like he was on a bicycle and completely blind and only like driving or running on the bicycle or riding on the bicycle, and then people telling him, oh, you need to stop now, you need to stop now, having no concept of obviously what was in front of him, but completely fearless and laughing and sunny disposition.
When you reconnected for this story, what struck you in how he has he's much older now,
right. Well, now
than the obvious.
Right. He's 21, but what was sort of phenomenal to me is that he remembered me, and he remembered, I mean, he'd met me, but he hadn't ever seen me, right? He remembered my voice because we'd given him a copy of the DVD to listen to it. He'd listen to it on repeat. His hearing and his memory are really phenomenal. So as soon as he met me, he said, oh, hello, Amanda. And it took me a moment to realize, oh my goodness, I know this boy from when he was so young. And that really, I mean, and also, you know, he'll tell you a story about he went to Times Square on New Year's Eve. He is completely fearless. Like, you know, he's got these crazy disabilities. You know, he's completely blind. He's only got use of one arm, but he'll get on the ferry by himself. Most people, like some people, don't even go on the ferry themselves and they're fully okay. It's, I mean,
even the name of the band fits into that fearless description. He's not hiding the fact that he's blind. He's calling the band Blind Ambition.
No, and he'll say very eloquently, listen, I know what I am. but I'm making the best of it. I'm grateful every day, and I'm going to make the best of the talents that God's given me. So he's really sort of an inspiration, I think, to most people who meet him. He's a very nice boy.
And we'll have a chance to speak to him here. He is going to join us at 8:20 this morning for a conversation. Amanda, thank you for coming in. Thank you for the follow-up story. We'll take a short break. After the power of music to inspire hope for himself and for others, he was severely injured as a child in Iraq. That has not stopped him from taking his love of music to another level. With the story, New York One's Amanda Farinacci.
Now I play Stairway to Heaven.
It's not a perfect rendition of Led Zeppelin,
You know, like that riff?
but it's the kind of music Ahmed Shareef loves making. The 21-year-old Iraqi refugee is a talented musician, despite losing his sight and his right arm in an explosion when he was 7. Ahmed's injuries occurred as he and a friend were walking home from school near Baghdad and a bomb went off. The U.S. military referred him to a Staten Island charity, the Global Medical Relief Fund, which arranged for surgeries, giving Ahmed prosthetic eyes and an arm. We first met him 14 years ago on his second trip to the U.S. Even then, music was his thing.
When I started playing around the piano, it became my interest, my toy. I want to play around it. And I'm glad that I chose that.
He learned to play mostly through listening. With his future in Iraq bleak, Ahmed's mother let the Global Medical Relief Fund's founder take guardianship. He moved to Staten Island, obtained asylum, and enrolled at Curtis High School. Joining the jazz band, his teacher excited for the chance to work with him.
You know, usually a piano player, we use the left hand for the bass notes, and the right hand is for the high notes. So I found a way to do both sounds.
2 years ago, Ahmed formed a band, Blind Ambition, performing twice a week at a local bar and at special events, including a Knicks game at Madison Square Garden and at Radio City Music Hall to standing ovations.
For me, is a way of telling the world, here I am, no matter what it is, I'm happy. Oh, I've been through a lot, and I don't think about anything in the past. That's my music, and that's what I do.
Ahmed joins me now. He is also joined by Elisa Montanti. She is the guardian who helped Ahmed when he moved here, the founder and director of the Global Medical Relief Fund, the organization that helped him when he arrived on Staten Island. Thank you, both of you, for being here. Ahmed, I love the name of the band, Blind Ambition. You seem to have this grounded sense about charging forward into this challenge.
Yeah, it's been, you know, a great journey for me in performing at, you know, the band Blind Ambition. So it's definitely became part of my life, and it's just the start of my dream.
Okay, I got so many questions. Favorite type of music?
It's hard. It's probably jazz and classic rock.
Is there a favorite artist that you play a lot of?
I like Stevie Wonder.
Elisa, you know, this journey started so many years ago. Amanda, in her report, reminded us that she, in 2006, met Ahmed.
I can't believe that much time has passed. So I actually was getting a lot of requests from the military at the time in Iraq. And so I learned about Ahmed, and I went to Iraq to get him. And to fast forward, the kids that I helped come back and forth, and when Ahmed came in 2012, I didn't want to send him back. And I learned that music was his light. And I frequent a local place in Staten Island, Leedy's, which is like Cheers, and I brought Ahmed into the whole equation and introduced him. And that's where Ahmed plays, and he has unbelievable fans there. But Ahmed has grown into a young man, and I'm so proud of him that music truly is his light. You know?
Yeah.
And he has an acute ear. He's just so talented.
Ahmed, I got to say thank you for watching New York One in the morning. I know you tune us in.
Every morning.
Jamie and Stacey and Annika are all in the studio with us here. You not only are you playing the music, and you're a language teacher as well. Tell me about that.
So basically, I do, you know, where I work right now is, you know, I speak Arabic and English is my second language, and I speak a lot of Spanish. So I try to help, you know, right. It's my job, you know, I try to help, you know, because I use these languages to interpret for other people. And even when children come here from other countries like Iraq or Syria, you know, through the charity Global Medical, so I help, you know, translating with anything they need, and also at my job as well.
At least it is a remarkable journey to Staten Island and under these circumstances. What have you learned from Ahmed?
Inspiration. You know, you see him, and everybody that meets Ahmed is inspired. You know, you can't have a bad day. And you take a look at him, his spirit. I mean, it's just, it's incredible everything that he has been through. And he could smile, and he loves people. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's a complete circle, because I started my charity with music. And now he and I are writing things together and singing, and he's playing. And, you know, he plays at Leedy's all the time. In fact, he plays every Sunday. If anybody wants to come down and hear him. That was going to be my
final question.
Please come down to Leedy's, and you will see him. I'm just so proud of him. I truly am, and he makes it all worth it, you know.
Ahmed, you got a gig on Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday of 69 up there with the Blind Ambition Band, and you know, look forward to, you know, music is part of my life. I can't really ignore it or anything. It's part of me wherever I go, even when, you know, working, it's melodies in my head. There's always, you know, composition that, you know, I want to compute, you know, like produce, or, you know, do something with the band, or even on my own. That's what I like to do every day, even, you know, after work. That's what I like to do.
Pleasure having you both here this morning. Thank you, Elisa. Thank you, Ahmed. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. Thank you.
8:28. Political editor Bob Hart joins me after the break. We hosted a NY1 debate last night in the closely watched Staten Island congressional race.